Hi, my name is Keith Cooper from Northlight Images, and this is one of my series of short videos about the business side of being a photographer, based on personal experiences mainly. Remember, I'm a commercial, architectural, industrial photographer. I don't do weddings and that, so you may need to change this slightly, but not the principles behind it if you're doing wedding photography, for example. Not an area I work in. But anyway, are you charging enough for your photography? Question I get asked a lot. We're happy to publish prices on our website. They are written in such a way as to give an impression of our prices, but if you want further information, you'll almost certainly have to contact us. Because that's what we want. The whole idea is that this gives a general idea, but you need to actually tell us what you want to get a proper quote. That's another matter though, but we're happy to publish our basic prices. But are you charging enough? Simple way to work out your cost, and this is really simple. First of all, and I'm assuming you're just running a business for yourself, how much money do I need to live on? This is if you're running a full-time business. Part-time, you've got an income coming in, so this can be adjusted slightly. But essentially, arrive at a figure of how much money you need. Now, this is all your costs. This includes tax and, where needed, health costs. This comes up with an amount of money you actually need to make. And this has got to cover things like holidays, presents for people, actually going out when we can, doing things. So, don't skimp on it. You've got to come up with a figure that you need to live off effectively. Now, secondly, there are business costs. Now, this comes to things like your photography kit, travel, insurance, various consumables, use computer, all the kinds of things that, basically it takes to run your business. It may not take much, but it will take some kit, and that comes with a cost. So we've got how much we need, how much our costs are. Now the next thing to think of is how many jobs a week can you do? We're not talking about can you find this many of jobs, but what's a reasonable number of jobs per week you might think of? Next, how many weeks per year do you want to work? If you said 52 there, get real. You need time off. I work on 40 for my own rough back of the envelope calculations, which are what I did when I first set Northlight Images up in 2004. So it has lasted a bit, so it has worked. So anyway, we know how many jobs we need to do. We know from adding our costs and the amount of money that we need to live on, the amount of money that the business needs to bring in. So you divide that amount of money by the number of jobs, and that gives you the average amount of money you need to charge per job. Now, that could come to some arbitrary figure. If that figure is too high or too low, if it's too low, it means you can do more jobs. But if it's too high and you think, well, how can I actually reduce this? You think, oh, well, I don't need all this money to live off. Well, you will do. It's not something that will change. You need to think of it as a business that's going to last. So anyway, the whole idea is that you know how many jobs you can do, you know how much money you need. That tells you how much you need to make per job. It's not as easy to say, oh, that's all right, I'll do twice as many jobs. Nice idea if you have the time to do it, and also if there are the customers and clients to do that much work. So it's quite a tricky thing. These numbers don't care about whether you like them or not. These are fairly hard and fast numbers. But as I say, have a look at the articles I've linked for this, because I go into this in a bit more detail, talking about profitability and things like that. So there you go. If you can't make enough money from it, then perhaps it's a paid hobby, you do it part-time. That's fair enough, but consider how you want to progress it. It took 15 months for Northlight to actually turn into a profitable business. Now, I was able to do that was because I was able to support myself for that 15 months that it took to become a profitable business. That was 15 years ago, so it has worked. But hopefully these short videos are of use. Please do ask questions in the comments. They are, again, as I say, they're aimed at people thinking about photography and some of the things that you ought to think about doing. So thank you very much.